Hello traders, and welcome back to another weekly market review. Like every week, we go through the market, we see what trades are playing out right now, what trades you should be taking, and which ones you should not be taking. Basically, taking you through a strategy mode and kind of showing you the ropes. We've had a pretty good few last weeks. If you've been around, you know, elections just happened last week, which we had some trades hit TP there too. So we do have some more new equity plays that came in today as well. So we're gonna look at those in a few seconds, and then we're also gonna go through Forex. So the first trade we have in our list is USDCHF. We've talked about this one a couple times already. Nothing really changed on this one, so I'll just move on to the next one because really it's the same thing as the last video. So if you want to see what's going on with USDCHF, just go skip to the previous video. If you want to watch those previous videos, just go into our weekly market review playlist and you guys can review any of those videos. Next up, we have AUD yen, which is repeated trade. So this has already played out a few times. This specific one, so some of you might have entered on, so the algorithm recalculator put the entry a little further up. So you guys might have entered on this neutral level here, but you can see it went back above this level here. And now the next short entry would be on this level. So this is a good level to enter. It is a repeated trade, but it's still, because overall we're still bearish, it's still a downtrend. So in my opinion, this is still a trade you can set up and take. Next up, we got AUDNZD, which I believe most of you got triggered, I think on Friday. If you've watched the previous videos, you should have been triggered on this trade. We went above the level a little bit, but you can see it kind of popped right back into a profit. And we're about to hit TP1, TP2, which potentially could happen in a few days. If you don't have this trade set up, just set them up. You know, price can always come back into the entry, especially with news and the elections not being done. You know, AUDNZD does have some volatility with the elections too. So it could always pop back up, hit your entries here, and then come back down to TP1, TP2. Of course, it's not going to play out that quick, but there's always a chance price can retrace back into the entry, grab more liquidity, which is kind of where we're going to be entering on. And then from there, price will continue going down. So yeah, this trade is good. You know, you can see both local, both global are down, which is a good indication that there's a lot of bearish momentum right now. Here's a good example of what I was talking about earlier with, you know, price can just literally just wick into your entries. If we look at this GBPJPY trade a few days ago, so this was 4 days ago, you can see this wick literally went into the entries, grabbed liquidity, went back down into TP1, TP2. So a lot of times these trades can happen out quick. And we want to have our orders sit there just in case price will go back and hit that level. Because if it does, then we can get in, and then sometimes those are really quick trades. So even if you see, you know, price is really far away, just set them up, be patient, and just wait for the trade to play out. This trade has been repeated a couple times. So I would say, you know, if you made money on the first and second one, then you can set this up again. If you haven't, then it's a trade I would skip, just because you can start to see it's kind of consolidating at this point a little bit. But again, if you have made money on this trade before, I think you can still set this up again. I will set this up again because I've hit TP on this a couple times now already. So I don't mind, you know, taking the risk on this trade again. EURGBP is a trade. It's a little messier. Really, what's happening here, if we kind of play this out, is this was kind of our support, right? So we can see price was rejecting this support multiple times, and then over here, of course, we got the break. So this was the break, and now we're going in for the retest on that neutral level. So you know, this is really what's going on here. I know it's a little messy. It is pretty much I would say it's the second time going into this level. So it is a repeated trade, but it's not as repeated. The only thing with this trade, it is a little messy. EURGBP is a little messy right now, but it's a trade you can set up if you're okay with that. I think this is an okay trade. So what we're waiting for to happen on EURGBP is we got this momentum down, we got a pullback, momentum down. Now we're expecting another pullback, and then from here, hopefully we're going to keep going down. On EURCAD, we've hit TPs, so we've hit TP3 on this trade a couple of days ago. This is a trade that we talked about for quite a while, so you know, it took a few days. But yeah, hit our TP points. Again, we've had quite a bit of trades hit TP points in the past few weeks, which is great. Same thing with this, you know, it might come up back into entry. It will be a repeated trade. but you know, just by looking at the structure, I think it is okay. We can clearly see, you know, lower highs up here. So if we draw this out, this was kind of a double top, lower high, and we can expect another lower high here. So a lot of times what you'll see is 3 pushes. So you'll get the first push. Well, I guess we had 2 pushes. This was the first push, second push, third push. We could see a larger retracement. Again, a lot of times you'll see 3 pushes. If we draw kind of the trend line, you can see these 3 pushes on that trend line. You know, you might see a lot of VTRL traders trying to get in on this third one, which might, on this fourth one, which might fail. So I would be a little more cautious with this, just because it's been repeated multiple times. It is a pretty clean pair, and you can see we made a new low here. So this was a previous low. We made a new lower low. So I'm not saying this trade can't play out. I'm just saying it has a low probability. If you've made money on this before, you know, feel free to set this up again. If you're new, if you're fresh, if this is going to be your first trade, maybe wait out a bit. Moving on to EURNZD. So EURNZD, we were kind of in this channel. So if we draw this out again, we were in this channel. You can see price was bouncing between these 2 trend lines, and now we broke out. So you know, when we break out of these channels, a lot of times what you'll see is a retest happening. So what we can expect is price to come back up into this level, retest it, and then come back down into a TP points. So, you know, this is a fine trade to set up. It's been repeated maybe like slightly once. You can see kind of a wick. So you can see this kind of wicked up and a wick straight into a TP1, TP2. Again, sometimes you have these quick trades. They don't play out. They don't come that often. But it's been a kind of volatile week. Last week, on low time frames, you know, it wasn't that clean. But like I said, in the beginning of the week, last week, is, you know, you can set these trades up with no issues with the elections. Because with the elections, you know, because we're swing trading, so we're not that affected. And usually like news, politics and stuff like that usually pushes or trades either into TP or stop loss. So it just accelerates the result of the trade a lot quicker. So in my opinion, this is a fine trade to set up. I don't see anything wrong here. Again, we kind of broke out of this channel, and now we're looking to go further down. Here we have NZDCHF, which is a fairly new trade. This one hasn't hit TP yet. This one has not hit TP yet. It's a fresh trade. You can see we broke this neutral level here, so we broke this structure, and now we're looking for the retest. You can see it's starting to take off a little bit. This trade came in actually late last week, so some of you might already be in this trade if you saw it and you took advantage of it. If you're not in this trade yet, don't worry. You know, I'm sure we'll have a kind of retracement back into the level and come back down, come back up into a TPs. If you see it leaving without you, don't rush into the trade. Don't rush into the trade with like market execution. Set up your buy limits. Just patiently wait for price to come back into your orders, into your entry level, and then from there you'll get triggered. Because if you have that approach in your trading, you're going to be trading with the institutions and the banks, because they never want to buy at the top. They always want to buy the bottom. So their goal is to buy cheap. And if we can align ourselves kind of with that same mindset, by using buy and sell limits, we can follow the same principles. So it's important you guys don't rush into trades. If you see it taking off, you know, don't be scared. Don't FOMO. Just set your buy limits in the entry box like the algo gives you, and then just wait for price to come back and hit your buy limit. I know sometimes it can seem like it'll never come back, but again, you know, you saw those wicks on the previous trade. It can always come back for more liquidity and then go back into your TP. Next up, we got Euro Yen. Again, this has been repeated multiple times. The entry is still quite long away, but again, you know, price will come back, hit our limits, and then keep going it's the way it wants to go. So it looks like it had a rebound. We are still bearish overall. So I think this is still a fine trade to set up. It is repeated, but it's still fine to set up just because of the kind of the structure looks. It's very clean. It's trending. So this is a good trade to set up. Next up, we got equity. So the first one on the list is BAC, Bank of America. This one had TP. So we've talked about this guy, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe even the last one, I don't remember. But yeah, this one hit OTPs before. It just went back into entry. So if you had your entries there, you probably got triggered and already hit TP1, TP2 pretty much. So another one of those quick trades. Next up, we got HSBA, which is a long entry. So we haven't had a longs, kind of long positions for quite a while on equities, at least for the ones that we looked at in these videos. So this is a long opportunity. It's going to be good for, you know, to set this up just to balance out some of the shorts we have going on. So this is a long entry on, you know, kind of the 312 level. We can see we kind of broke the bulls, the bear trend here. So we can see, you know, price was doing lower highs and lower lows over here. So lower highs, and then we got a lower lows here. And now if we look at it, we can see price starting to make higher lows. So we can, this is a low, higher low, this was a high and a new high. So we can see definitely price is starting to kind of go back with the overall trend, the global uptrend. You can see locals uptrending too. So our plan is, you know, come or buy this level once it comes back for retracement. So I think this is a good trade to set up, especially if you don't have your longs right now. You never know, you know, could be a really good trade. We have some more shorts coming up, so let's have a look. So this is a short on Glencore. I think this has been repeated once. This looks like this is kind of where it came in on this lower high here. So we're expecting price to bounce on this resistance here and then come back into levels. You can see we made a new low. So this is what this was a low. This is our next low. You can see, you know, we're pretty bearish. So we're just, you know, the goal here is just to play the channel. So we want to, you know, keep repeating this pattern. And that's really what we're doing here. You could say this is an M pattern. So yeah, we're just kind of playing the channel here. It looks fine to me. It looks decent to me. Again, it's repeated, but you know, when we're forming these channels, or these wedges, a lot of times they're going to be repeated and they're going to be playing out just fine. So keeping some of that, you know, technical analysis mind, I think this is going to be a good trade. Next up, we got the lovely Uber, which looks quite nice. So you can see we had a nice breakout. Price was kind of struggling before, between October to November. You can see it's kind of been consolidating, and now we kind of finally broke this resistance here. So our goal is to get a re-entry or another entry on this neutral level here. So we want price to come back, hit our buy limits here, and then from here we go up. And you know, Uber is a great company. You know, it has good bullish potential. I think you know, 43 is a really reasonable target. You can see it sitting there right now, but then we're expecting price to come down, hit our limits, and then from there it'll go up. Again, you know, we don't want to buy up here. If we buy up here, we might be buying at a place where it's overvalued. We don't know if it's overvalued or not, but we can kind of see based on previous price and the algo levels. So right now you can see it's sitting on resistance, so it's not a place we want to buy. We want to buy something when it's cheap. So you know, this 37 level looks like a really good level to buy. It's forming really good support there. You can see it broke our resistance. So, and whenever, you know, a level like this breaks, a lot of times price will come back to retest. So we want to have our buy limits here and then take the retest up. And that's pretty much it for this week's weekly market review. If you guys have questions, put them in the comments down below. Make sure to join our global chat. That's where we kind of hang out, answer questions. We have, you know, traders kind of bouncing off ideas on X mode trades. If you guys want to learn X mode, make sure to check out the handbook. We have a handbook that kind of goes over the basics. If you guys want to take your trading to the next level, you want to go full time, you want to maybe join a prop firm, or really kind of learn everything you need to be a really consistent day trader, we also have the dojo that you guys can attend to learn more about day trading techniques and how to become a full-time trader. Let us know below how you're progressing with strategy mode, how you're liking it. If you guys have any feedback, let us know in the comments down below. We do these videos every week, so you'll see another weekly market review next week on around Monday. And we also do every Monday, 2:30 p.m. We also have a weekly Q&A on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys can join those as well to ask any questions. And it's a really good place to kind of join if you guys want to, you know, pick this up really quick and avoid a lot of the common mistakes people make, because you can ask me questions. We can go through some trades. If you're confused, if you don't know how to execute them, you know, we can always go through that as well. So it's a really good place if you're new, if you want to learn, if you want to take things to the next level. The weekly Q&A is going to be a good place to hang out every Monday. My name is Patrick. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.